Hi, it's Stella.
And Tarrant from Meeple University.
Today we'll be teaching you how to play Camel Up, the second edition, the camel racing, betting, chaotic fun game originally from 2014, coming up.
Let's learn to play Camel Up, game designed by Stefan Borgen and published by Eggertspieler.
If you find value from this video later, please hit the like button, subscribe to us, hit the bell and leave your feedback in the comments for others to find. For now, let's get to the table.
Camel Up is a game of camel racing and betting for 3 to 8 players. In a race around the pyramid, camels will advance and land on each other, possibly carrying their opponents towards victory, while at the same time watching out for the crazy black and white camels who may take them in the wrong direction. Through the game, players will place bets on in-game and end-of-game outcomes, as well as try to influence the outcome in their favour. Players will aim to collect on as many of their bets as they can, both during and after the race, and whoever ends up with the most money wins. To set up, each player chooses a character, represented by one of these pictures, and then takes all of the components showing that character, as well as £3. This will include one race betting card for each of the 5 coloured camels, which are held in a closed hand, the Spectator token, which is placed on the table, and in a 6 to 8 player game, the betting partnership card, which is placed character side up. With 5 or fewer players, return this card to the box. On the main board, place the 5 stacks of leg betting tokens in ascending order. You'll have 2 that show £2, 1 that shows £3, and the top one showing 5. Place the 5 pyramid ticket tokens on this space in the centre of the track. Roll the 5 coloured dice and then place the matching coloured racing camel into the matching numbered space. These camels should face forward. Then roll the grey die twice to find the starting positions for the black and white camels. A roll of a 1 places them on the 16, a 2 on the 15 and a 3 on the 14. These camels should face the opposite direction to the coloured camels. Any camels who share a space are now stacked on top of each other in a random order. Finally, place all 6 dice into the pyramid. Place the pyramid into the centre of the board, choose a first player, and you're now ready to play. A full game of Camel Up comprises a single camel race around the pyramid. The full race will end as soon as a single camel crosses the finish line, and this can be one of the 5 coloured racing camels going forwards across the finish line, or one of the crazy black or white camels going backwards across the finish line. The race is also broken up into legs, and each leg will end after exactly 5 camels have moved. Through the game, players will be betting on the outcome of each leg, as well as the outcome of the full race. After each leg, you'll pause and pay out leg bets, and then restart the race for the next leg. Once a camel crosses the finish line, you'll pay out the final leg, as well as bets on the outcome of the race. Within this framework, the game is played in turns, starting with the first player, and going clockwise around the table until the race is over. On your turn, you will take a single action, and there are 4 or 5 actions to choose from. You can bet on the leg, bet on the full race outcome, place your spectator tile, take a pyramid ticket, which will involve moving 1 camel, or enter a betting partnership with an opponent. This last option is only available in a 6 to 8 player game. So let's have a look at each of these actions in detail. Your first option is to bet on the outcome of this leg, and to do this, you simply take the top betting ticket from any one of the 5 piles, adding it to your collection of assets. There are no restrictions on this action. You can hold as many betting tickets as you'd like, including multiple tickets from the same camel, as long as you acquire them on different turns. Once a stack of tickets is empty, no one may bet on that camel again. Secondly, you can place a bet on the outcome of the entire race, and there are two options, either to bet on the overall winner on this side, or to bet on the overall loser on this side. Choose one of the coloured camel cards in your hand, and then place it face down on the pile of your choosing, on top of any cards that were already there. You'll never get these cards back into hand, so you can only place one bet, either on a win or on a lose, for each camel in the game. The third option, available only in a 6 to 8 player game, is to enter a betting partnership with an opponent. At 6 or more players, the betting tickets dwindle much more quickly, and so this gives you an option to score off somebody else's bet. To take the action, choose an opponent, swap betting partnership cards with them, and then flip both cards over to the handshake side. The player with whom you form the partnership has no choice in the matter, but there is no downside for the player in that partnership. There is no way that you can lose out of a partnership, only gain. Each player may only be in one partnership per leg, so any player who is on the handshake side can neither be a target for nor initiate a new partnership. Your fourth option is to place your spectator tile onto one square of the racetrack, or to move it if it was already on one. A spectator token may be placed either on the green cheering side, which helps the camels to move forward, or on the red booing side, which moves them back. You're not allowed to place one of these onto a space adjacent to an existing one, or on a space where there is already a camel present. The number 1 space is also not allowed, so right now the only legal placements are on 4, 12, 13, or 15. The final action is to take a pyramid ticket and move a camel. This is where all the action takes place. By taking one of these tickets, you'll be able to cash that in for £1 at the end of the round. Then shake the pyramid, press the button, and see which die falls out. If you roll a coloured die, then move the matching coloured camel that many spaces forward around the track. If a camel lands on the same space as another camel, place it on top of the stack. And if a camel moves, it carries with it any other camels stacked on top of it, but not any underneath. If you roll the grey die, then you'll move either the black or white camel depending on the colour of the printed number, so here it's white. The black and white camels follow the same movement rules, but they move in the opposite direction, so here the white camel would move these 2 spaces, carrying the purple camel backwards. There are 2 exceptions to this. If you're meant to move one of the crazy camels, but it has no racing camels on its back and the other one does, then you'll use those movement points on the one that is carrying coloured camels. Secondly, these camels, if they are directly adjacent to each other in a stack, never carry each other. So here you would use this one black movement point on the white camel, although in this instance you would move the whole stack. If a camel or camel stack ever lands on a cheering spectator token, then you'll move that stack an additional step forward. The player who owns that spectator token immediately claims a £1 bonus. For these purposes, forwards refers to the direction of the camel. So in this instance, the camel would move towards the lower numbered end of the track, and then move an additional space in that direction. If a camel or stack of camels lands on a booing spectator space, then those camels will move backwards 1 space and go underneath any camels that were on the space. As before, the player gains £1. After you've finished moving the camel, then place the die onto one of these 5 tents. These remain out of the pyramid until the next leg. Once the final pyramid ticket has been taken and the final movement has been completely resolved, then the leg is over. You'll now pause the race and resolve the end of the leg, which involves paying out any bets that were placed on this leg. Give the first player token to whoever is next in turn order, so you'll remember who can take the first turn in the next leg. Determine which of the coloured racing camels is in first and second. This is based on who is furthest around the track and, if tied, who is on top of a stack. So here purple is leading and yellow is coming second. For each leg bet you've placed on the leading camel, gain 5, 3 or 2 pounds depending on your ticket. Each bet you've placed on the second place camel is worth 1 pound, and each bet you've placed on any other camel will cost you 1 pound. You'll then also gain a pound for each pyramid ticket you've gained. Resolve all of your winnings or losses for this phase and then add them or subtract them from your money. If your losses exceed your assets, simply lose as much as you can. If you're in a betting partnership, you may also optionally claim on one of your betting partner's leg bets. So here, this player can claim 3 pounds from the opposing player's winning purple bet, which offsets some of these losses for a net profit of 1. While this player, seeing only losing bets down here, chooses not to take advantage of the partnership. Once all bets have been paid out, it's time to set up for the next leg. Return the pyramid tokens to the tile and all of the dice to the pyramid. Return all the betting tickets to their piles, again in ascending bet order. Players who've placed their spectator tile retrieve them, and players who had exchanged betting partnership cards return them to each other and place them on the available side. However, all end of race betting cards remain on their spaces, and the camels remain exactly where they were. Play now continues from the player with the first player token, or that is, the player who was next in turn order when the previous leg ended. The race ends immediately when one or more camels crosses the finish line in the direction of its travel. This could occur by the black or white camel moving backwards across the line. The final leg of the race ends early without 5 camels having moved, and the race is now over as well. Pay out the final leg betting in the usual way and determine which camel is in first place and which one is in last place for the purposes of end of race betting payouts. For each of the race winner and race loser betting stacks, flip over the entire deck of cards and then resolve the bets in the order in which they were placed. The first player who placed the correct bet gains 8 pounds. The second correct bet gains 5 pounds. The third correct bet gains 3 pounds, and then 2 pounds, and every other remaining bet gains 1. Any incorrect bet which is found through this process, the owner must pay 1 pound. If players have placed multiple bets on different camels to win or lose the race, they may lose multiple pounds during this process. Once all of the winner and loser bets have been resolved, players count up their winnings and the player or players with the most money wins. And that's how to play Camel Up. We hope you enjoyed this video.
If you enjoyed this video, please help us by hitting that like button. Subscribe to us. You can also hit the meeple in the corner to do so and hit the bell icon so you'll be one of the first to know when we have new and exciting videos. You can also follow me on Instagram for my board games journey.
And if you have any questions, comments or feedback, please leave them in the comment section below.
See you next time!